going on, guys? It's Quizzy Dog here, and in today's video we have something a little bit different. Something that tries to blend hobbies with tech, and I think it's a pairing that's really amazing and something that is completely first to market. Here we have the Halasz, I think it's called. This is a fishing tool and something that I didn't think would ever be on the channel, but I was very intrigued when this came into my email inbox, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it and see exactly what it's all about. So the company also sent over a couple of little swag items. So we have a hat, which is actually pretty cool. It's a snapback hat. We have a little keychain. Now, not only is this a keychain, but this also has some AR principles in it that will allow you to compete in online tournaments and a whole bunch of different things with that little keychain there. It's said to be very durable as well, and we'll jump into that a little bit later. We have the unit itself, of course, and then we actually have like this little press guide, and I've never quite seen a product come into the office with this much presentation. So this sort of just goes over all of the functionalities with the product, what it can do, how to use it, and overall, I think that's super neat. But let's jump right into the fish scale. And again, kind of a weird item, but I'm kind of super excited about it. I think this is going to make a great gift. This is a very early look. This is an item that will be coming to Kickstarter. Price points for early bird and stuff like that, by the way, I'll have them in the video description below, as well as a link to the product once, of course, it is made live. In here, we have, looks like just our instructions. And again, presentation on this so far is absolutely fantastic. I see a lot of early items come into the office and they never have this much polish. So kudos to this company for doing such a fantastic job. And here we have your fish grip. So if you guys get a sort of better look at it here, it has a couple of different functionalities built in. And actually, before we do that, I'm going to see if there's not anything else in the box here. This is, I'm not even going to bother opening it, but this is actually just where you're going to get the charge cable. And by the sounds of it, there's nothing else in there. So this, again, is the main unit itself. This is the scale. This is the weight system. This is everything. And this is actually an IoT device, so Internet of Things. And what's cool is this will actually allow you to sync this up to their smartphone app. You're able to take your weight. So think of this almost like a luggage scale, where you're just going to hold onto this grip. It's a dual trigger. So there is a trigger right on this side right here, but there's also a trigger on the back. So whichever you're more comfortable sort of using, whether it's the one on the back or the one on the side, you're gonna open up those clasps. There are some little hooks here, and this feels like it's possibly stainless steel. Very, very durable, very, very hefty this thing is, which is fantastic. But the whole principle and the whole point of this is what you're going to do is when you're out fishing and you have a fish on the hook, all you have to do is pull this down. This is going to allow you to reach into the fish's mouth. You're going to de-hook the fish. And this actually has your scale built in. So this is where you're actually going to be able to, I guess, grab the fish, but also get the fish's weight. Now, once you have the weight of the fish, you also in here have a measuring tape. So here you can pull the measuring tape down and you actually have the ability to get the measurement of the fish as well. The little button right here is going to be where you go and retract the measuring tape. That was really satisfying, by the way. It will just automatically catch, so nothing that you have to lock into place. Push it, it's gonna come back in. And up here, we have an LCD display. So not only does this have sort of its own little display built in, but what makes this first to market and what makes this a very interesting IoT device is pairing this with the smartphone application. Now that application will allow you to, of course, sync the weight, sync the measurement of your fish, but you can also use that to catalog all of your catches, get your weather, kind of everything to do with fishing as either a hobby or a sport. And because you really can't cheat the system that well with something like this, unless maybe you were to weight the fish, but being that this is going to have the ability to synchronize your measurement and your weight, you could take a picture with this, synchronize those results, and the manufacturer's actually going to have some online tournaments. I believe they're coming soon. I don't know if they're live yet. This little guy right here as well, this little keychain, you're actually able to, let's say, put your fish down on a table or in a grassy area, somewhere after you've caught it. You put this little keychain into frame, and what it's going to do is also open, as you can see on the back side here, it's going to open an IR measuring tape within the application. So when you snap a picture of the fish, you actually have the ability to measure it. And this is what you can use as well to upload those results, compete in tournaments, and different things like that. So I'm going to grab my phone, and I have pre-installed this application, but I haven't actually really took a deep dive into it or used it at all. Opening up, first and foremost, you're going to see the application itself. At the top, you have clans, so it appears that you can sort of have a little fishing group, if you will. Think of it more like an online game, maybe, or a companion to, again, either your hobby or your sport. And as we take a look, you can actually see in that picture there, you have somebody that's uploaded their results with the AR keychain and the measurement tool to be able to share their results. There are locations. Now, again, I have no data. I have not used this. You can go in, there's tournament information. So right now it appears that there are some tournaments possibly going on, which is super cool. In more, that's where we're just gonna go create an account. And then of course, right in the bottom middle here, we do have the ability, hello, it's me, to go in and start taking your pictures and sharing those as well. So kind of a cool little app. It looks like maybe if you had the ability to just come across this to start things off, you could use this right away. But this is the main thing that we're talking about. This is the actual item that we're looking at. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to try to pair this to my phone. If we go into Bluetooth, and of course, we're gonna do this like most of you guys. We're gonna go in blind, we're gonna go in with no instructions, and we're gonna see exactly how easy or difficult it is to get this all up and running. So I hit the Bluetooth button. It's blinking right now on the display screen, so I assume that means it could be in pairing mode, and it is, because if we look at the Bluetooth list there, we now have the device. We're going to click on it. And chances are, if this is like any other application, the password is probably all zeros. So it's trying to connect now. And I'm going to see if maybe it gives me a readout on the display when it's connected. The Bluetooth symbol is still blinking. It's trying to connect, pairing. 0000. Okay. And nothing yet. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna break one of my cardinal rules. We're going to open this up and we're gonna take a quick look within the user manual. And again, this user manual is like super cool. I'm so impressed with the presentation on this. So how to measure length, yes, we have that. Power on, off, reset. I am looking in here for the ability to pair. So downloading the app of course is available for iOS and Android, which is awesome. It tells you how to also use the AR portion of that application. Not really anything that I can see right away specifying what the password is. We're gonna set this down. We're gonna come back in a minute and hopefully it's paired up. All right, so we're back, and I was a little bit of a novice there. It is actually easier to pair up than I thought. So all you have to do, and I'm gonna back out just a little bit, under the More settings within the application itself, you have the ability to go into settings, and right at the very top, amongst all of the other settings in the application, you have the ability to pair that with the grip itself. So we did that. It didn't need a password or anything. It looks like it was just in pairing mode. And now with this guy here, if you guys can see that display, the Bluetooth is no longer blinking. So it's fully connected, it's fully paired, it's ready to go. In here, you also have different things like the shutter sound, you have a level meter, a notification of level sound, and then if by chance you have an account set up, you can push all of your information, all of your pictures, all of your data to push to the tournament, push to your clan, push to anybody following you. So it looks like there may be a little bit of social media or social connectivity within here as well. So all in all, super cool. We're gonna go back in here and let's actually use the hat because I don't have a fish, oddly enough. So we've got a grip of this guy here. If I go ahead and hit there we go. So I hit the Bluetooth button. That's why my phone went off because it disconnected and reconnected. Now we're gonna take this measuring tape, pull this down, and I would say, if we go right on 0, that would be I would call that maybe a 9-inch catch with that hat from beak to brim or top, if that's what you want to call it. So it is saying right now that it is 8.4 inches. So I sort of calculated 9. It looks like it's going right from the actual tip of the grip itself. So it is saying 8.4. It is in inches, which is cool. And let's see if it's showing anything in the application. I'll more than likely have to make an account, which I'll do later, but this is kind of a quick first impressions and first look at this guy here. And there we go. So catch log. So we're gonna add, and yeah, so you're gonna have to be logged in first. Maybe we'll do that in another video. Maybe I'll go fishing. This will give me an excuse to actually go out and do something other than golf. But it looks like in the catch log, if you do have an account, you can simply just add your data. It's gonna synchronize that data from here and put that right into your application. So we're going to retract the measuring tape. We're going to release our catch, and that's it. So battery life, I'm not 100% sure of on this guy here. The big instructional guide does have a lot of information on all of the ins and outs of the product, how to charge the product, how to initially set it up, what the display and the buttons mean, and then reminders before requesting service is on here as well. And there's a couple of things, what to do if by chance the grip doesn't turn on, if the LCD is responding slowly, fish grip is not charging well, the product is overheating, if the Bluetooth won't connect. So a whole ton of really, really useful information in this really cool and unique user guide. Again, I've never really seen anything like that. So it's safe to assume, possibly, unless this was just some promotional swag for me, that this little hat here, which is actually kind of a nice little hat, not my personal style, but I'm sure it's good for some of you out there. It's got a camouflage beak. We have this AR keychain, which is super cool. And there are other ones of these available as well, other styles. Let's open this up real quick, actually. Why not? And like, this stuff is so cool. Like these subtle touches, like if you look, if you guys can see that, the actual punch out, if this was on a store shelf, is a fish. And maybe if you guys couldn't see it there, well, show you guys right here, if I can get this not to focus on my face. That's cool. Those are like little subtle things that I really get a kick out of when it comes to packages and stuff like that. You have some information on the back of the keychain. You have a QR code to download the app, what it's available for, And this appears to be nice and durable. It's on a swivel hook with a little carabiner, which is awesome. But yeah, really impressed with just like how durable this feels. Like, it's got no creaks, no cracks, seems nice and tough. The measuring tape comes out wonderfully. There's no issues with that at all. And again, it reports very accurately. Let's say you catch like a monster bigger than my frame can go. You can see right here on the display that it's going to tell you. So even if you don't have your phone, maybe you want to disconnect when you go fish. Maybe you don't want to be bothered by anybody. This is like an all-in-one thing. You don't necessarily need the app. It's going to make the experience a little bit cooler, a little bit more competitive. But just having this on its own, it's a fantastic little companion. So again, I'm going to put links to the Kickstarter when it does become available. I will keep you guys up to date with pricing and availability as best as I can. But if you guys are looking for a new outdoor hobby, I mean, I haven't fished for years, but I may start now that I have this. Or if you have anybody in your life that does like fishing, going out on boats, going out to the lakes, the ponds, wherever it is, this thing's actually really cool. And whether or not you're giving it to somebody that's crazy tech savvy and is into all the latest phones and applications, or if you're more of a novice user and you don't understand the phone side of things with the application, this will work perfectly fine by itself. And that's something that I find a lot of products aren't catering towards very often, is the ability to use it either as a standalone device or as something that can be used in conjunction with other technologies. So this is really gonna fit the needs of a lot of different people. I think it's super cool. I think it's super unique. And again, it's first to market right now. There's nothing else like this that's based around IoT and connectivity. So give it a look. Again, this is the Halasz Fishing Grip. I know I'm butchering that name, but it is what it is. Check it out on Kickstarter. I think it's super cool. It's got my seal of approval. But until the next video, guys, my name is Crazy Dog. You guys have been awesome, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Take care.